wanted to go over something that I saw in the challenge. You know, we have challenges for every, quarter outside of the Hot Moms Lifestyle program for those that really aren't ready to go full in on the mind, body, soul journey. They're still wanting to start small and start just, smaller. And a lady had a question. She said, I've been doing a lot of inner work, because that's what we do. We specialize in the reason why nothing else has worked, because at the end of the day, a trauma-informed approach is really the only way to find success when everything else has been a struggle. We create these struggles out of a dysregulated nervous system, and we can sit here all day and go over that, but I've got videos to save time. If you want to watch those, you can go to caseyship.com/register, and I'll show you why you balance in the hormones, mind, body, soul connection, and then that one aspect that no other program goes over that actually helps you get the results has to do with removing highly charged trauma energy from your body. Even if you think your life is smooth, I can promise you that everybody has it. It's something that's not taught on. It's just, I don't know, I think we're just all ignorant towards it. So I highly encourage you to open your mind, expand, learn more about why we repeat patterns. Anyway, so she was saying that she's been doing the work in the program. Lots of inner work we do here. Usually the reason why women struggle with their body is there's deep shame. I'll attract, I'm sure, somebody on here that wants to argue and they're an antagonistic energy, and I trigger them just by merely being on here. But they're going to shoo themselves away. For those of you that do want to know how to handle this up level when you're becoming her, when you're becoming this future version of yourself, and how do you handle your friends, your old friends that are catty and have nothing good to say? Well, let me share. Pull up a seat. I am no stranger to this energy, for a long time. And if you ever wanted to go deeper, I go over all this very meticulously, I dissect it, I give you homework, all that's in Hot Moms Lifestyle, but I'm going to give you something today. So I'll try to hit all aspects of why this is going on. For starters, if you haven't seen my Rainbow Fish, the children's book, The Rainbow Fish, go watch that. That will explain exactly why we go through this right here. In the book where it's like the rainbow fish has the beautiful scales and he's swimming along, and all the other fish with no scales want to make the rainbow fish seem like he is snotty, that he thinks he's better than everybody, and they want his scales. Hey, give us some of your scales, they say. And he's like, no. And so then they abandon him, saying that if you don't give away what makes you special to your lower vibe friends, they're going to leave you. Well, I say bullshit. I say you don't need those lower vibe friends. You were once those lower vibe friends. That's why you have those lower vibe friends. They didn't choose to level up with you. So go and level up where there's other fish with rainbow scales. There are other fish with actual rainbow scales. They don't want your rainbow scales. So that's my first lesson. That's in the Rainbow Fish video. Go watch that. Now, the next one is understanding feminine energy. At the core of our being, female brains are wired for community, because there's something in us that knows that as a pack, we are stronger together. Our children's survival rate goes up. I mean, I guess if you think about the wild, it's a thing. I know cows do this. But if we are together in a pack, in a herd, in a pack, typically, our chances of survival go up. So when we're a woman, a feminine energy, very soft energy, which we are, even if you feel like I'm a hard bitch and I've got a dick, like I used to feel the same way, I got you. But at the flip side is those that feel like you're hardcore masculine have a really strong feminine side. And not until you tap into that will you find your actual things you've been looking for, ease, flow, and fun and sexiness and all that stuff. But at the core of who we are, when we have disagreements or confrontation or we don't fit in, it goes against our survival. Like, oh no, my chances of survival are going to drop because my female friends are kicking me out of the circle. So what do? We don't say things. We try to keep the peace. We talk about each other behind each other's back, because confronting the girl to her face is way too scary. She may abandon us, right? So this is why our sister wounds, all it is sister and mommy wounds. It's deep core shame. It's insecurities. And shame, you probably don't even know really what I'm talking about, some of you. But just for example, you know, if your mom ever looked at you or brought you up, and women, we don't act like that. Girls that dress like that are whores, or, you know, we don't do that. Honey, are you going to get dressed up before you go out? Men only want you to look, boys only like this, or you probably need to be more like her. I mean, I could go on and on. Are you really going to eat that? Are you really going to wear that? Honey, you need it. I could go on. Where shame comes from. That's just from women, okay? Nobody breaks these cycles. They stay in the same cycles as their mother. For example, I had so many friends back in the day, acquaintances, whatever you want to call them, and all they did was talk bad about people. Guess what? I did too back in the day. All I did, I was right there with it. Even though I was known for confronting people to their face, I still would talk bad about other people. Even if it was a bless her heart thing coming from the South. Have you seen her? Yeah, she's struggling. All that's gossip. Now, as I started leveling up, okay, because these women are very insecure. They have to talk about other people, right? Because this is all they know. Because they have to be right. Their ego has to be fed. They're miserable. They don't know anything that's inside of them that makes them happy. They have to go external. They're all codependent. They're all martyrs. They're all sacrificial. They're done. They become moms and they hate themselves because they bought into all these stories and just misinformation, right? It's all this stuff. It's the matrix. You've got to fight your way out of that matrix. Now, once you start figuring out all this stuff and you're like putting the pieces together, you're starting to take radical responsibility for everything in your reality, and you start improving yourself, guess what? Most other people, but everybody else, they don't do that. The 2% of the population, if that, probably 1%, actually does this type of work. And it goes beyond personal growth and reading a John Maxwell book or a Unfuck Yourself book. You know, I mean, it's a great book, but it goes way beyond personal development. We're talking soul repairing, right? Soul practitioner. Your being, your essence, working on that, then the mind, then the body, all the stuff, right? So you're up level. Now, you're an opposite. You're not what you used to be, because you used to be those friends that talked about you. You used to hate everybody else that had happiness, because you know why? Probably like me when I was growing up, I wasn't allowed to be happy. My mom wasn't happy. I wasn't allowed to be happy. A lot of these women out here are victims and daughters of moms with weight issues, money issues, man issues, betrayal, shame, fear, scarcity, lack. I could go on. So that just breeds more and more and more and more. They're miserable. You used to be miserable. You're moving into a reality where it's like, hey, I'm feeling good. So of course they're going to be like, ah! So you know what that means? Thank you, universe. Thank you, myself. Thank you for showing me why I was stuck. Because I was around this energy. Wow. You know that saying that says, before you declare depression or that you're a loser, or you give yourself a lazy, you know, this title, make sure you're not surrounded by assholes. Now, it's not their fault. It's your fault, because you thought so poorly of yourself to be around this type of person. I get it. The saddest part about this journey is thinking that you had friends, is getting attached to people, and then they're not going to go on this ride with you. Now, I've had to do that a lot. And it gets to a point, I will say, it gets to a point where it's not painful at all. It is more of a mutual understanding, growing apart, where there's no bad blood, there's no hard feelings. And if there are feelings, it's going to be with them, because you don't have any. You don't have any. You see what I'm saying? Because you never had this like dysfunctional pattern of obligation and loyalty to this person because they're your friend. You didn't even have that, because you're clean and clear. Your energy's too clean and clear. So there's no attachment. You see what I'm saying? So you'll get to a point where you can clear the grief from losing what you thought was your friend. This all goes back to old patterns of old shit, right? It's not just your friends. Remember, anything that's going on in your current reality is just a projection of some other energetic anchor in your energy field. We're just clearing out all the time. It's literally shedding all the time. It's beautiful. And every time you shed, you go up a level. Every time you shed, you go up a level. So I think it's a wonderful thing. I think that every time something like this happens, you are going to experience the coolest up level ever. And it's going to make space. When you clear out the crap, it's not saying the crap, okay? Listen, I was once them. But it is crap energy, and I know that they probably would agree if I pointed some things out in their life. Wouldn't you want this to be different? Well, yeah. You see, just don't know they have the power to do so. So you clear out space once you decide that this no longer needs to be in your life, because thank you for showing me what I don't want to be around. What I do want to be around are people that I do feel safe sharing my up level with. People I do feel safe saying, hey, you know what? I got a raise. I'm now making over whoever, whatever you're making. You lost this weight. That's awesome. You probably need to be sharing that with a group like ours, right? Because we're actually happy for you, because we're working on the same thing. But your friends, they're working on who can get through the Netflix thing the fastest, and who's going to look the hottest at the Halloween event, and, some boy look at them. I don't know. You got bigger stuff going on, is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying we're better than anybody. I'm just saying it's part of the process. You've got to let them go with love, because it was once you. You were them. I was that girl. You were once them. And once you see that, you're good to go. Because you have to forgive them, because literally we're all ignorant. At the end of the day, we're all ignorant. We were once really ignorant. Now we're still ignorant. And probably when we die, we'll still have some ignorant stuff going on in our mind, So that's kind of my take on it. So you're not alone on that journey. It's going to happen. The best thing you can do is to go clear the energy immediately, clear out the grief, the pain, maybe the betrayal, the abandonment, whatever's coming up, and know that it's just a projection of something else in your energy field. We've got the tools in Hot Moms. I know the one that I'm talking to, I think it's Rebecca. It's in, I know it's in Clear Your Shit, and I don't know, would have to ask the community like where exactly the specific video is, but we do work a lot on sister wound and mother wound, and it's really just comes down to a mother wound. It's a feminine wound, so that's all it is. But yeah, I still go through some levels of it. It just gets easier and easier and easier the more you do it. It's like muscle memory, and then you clear out these big core things, clear it out, and then it becomes like, oh yeah, it's, you clear out the reason why you even needed to happen. So there we go. Hope that made sense. If your head is not spinning and you want to know how to clear out the sister wound, the mother wound, these deep core wounds of shame and guilt and obligation and responsibility and pressure and all this stuff and stress that's causing you to be stuck in weight, and your hormones are messed up, you're in money scarcity and lack, and you're just fear and stuff, so you're like, why am I not reaching my next level yet? Go to caseyship.com/book a call. It'll be a 15-minute consult, and based on your energy, what's going on, your problems, what you've tried to do to fix it, we'll know where you're at energetically and can give you something specific that day, or we'll push you on through to do like a real session with one of my channelers or myself, figure out what it is that's sticking. Yesterday we did a call with a girl, and we moved aside the uncertainty and fear, and it was left with this shock energy. She was in shock. She did not know which way to go. It was like fear frozen. And it came from when she lost her mom. And so I was like, can you imagine a child like Joe Dirt, like not having their mom? That you lose your mom as a girl, you lost your mom. You don't know what to do. So we had to go and do some repair work on that specific time in her and it's in her nervous system, right? Her nervous system remembered, even though we're adults now, her nervous system remembered how that felt. And so we had to go do some work on that and create, like merge these two timelines, having her show up as the divine mother now, and then she saved herself, boom, 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 had some breakthroughs. You get it. So that's what we'll do on the phone call. So go ahead, go to caseyship.com/book a call if you want that. All right, hope this helps. Talk to you soon.